everyone, it's Mark here with Cedar Falls Farm. I'm about to do a little more work with the Takeuchi TL8 skid steer. I'm going down to help an elderly neighbor. He lost his wife about a week before I lost mine, and try to help him out. He's a good friend. If some of you have seen some of the videos I've done on the 66 Econoline van, that's who I got the van from. It sat parked for years and bought it off him. And he's also one of my best friend's dad. So I like to help him out when I can, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to dig up a stump that's another part of the remnants from Hurricane Helene. So let's go see what we can get going here. Alright, we're going to start out down here by pushing down some canes and see if we can't clear out a way. When I come around this curve, you'll probably see the stump, and it's massive. I know I won't be able to pick it up, but maybe I'll be able to. Let's just take a quick look. There's the stump. That's probably 10, 12 feet tall, but I can knock some of that off. And there's a couple more stumps that's left over from Hurricane Helene. We're going to try to move some stuff around here. So we've got a couple of brush piles. I'm going to try to knock down some of this bamboo first. That'll allow us to push stuff down. Well, we got a pecan tree stump right here, and I'm going to assess this and see what I can do. We'll pick back up here in a moment. Alright, I've got high power, and we're going to just start pushing, see what we can do, open up the space and be able to put stuff in. There's a drop off here. What we want to do is open it up and get stuff going to drop off. up. Off this root ball, that'll help fill it in and make it a little easier to maneuver as well. A lot of weight. Alright, let's turn this heat off, or at least down another notch. I'll mount the camera outside in just a minute so we'll be able to better see what's going on. I'm just trying to basically clear a pathway to get stuff down in this big hole here. Rake a little bit of dirt off this root ball at a time. The other way, try to break it loose there. Still got some roots holding on, but we're getting them. There we go. Again, see if we can roll it. There we go. Broke loose. Broke loose. More dirt off. Be able to roll it out of the hole now. A little bit. I got to get some dirt in there because if I'm not careful, I'll end up getting myself stuck in the hole where the root ball is at. Back. stump. Looking good. Adjust my backup camera when I stop in a few minutes because it got tweaked a little bit with some of this bamboo. I don't like not being able to see behind me. Out here and formulate a plan for moving forward. We'll pick back up here in a minute and I'll have it set up outside. We'll get started.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, brother. I might be finished when you get back.
You might be.
Okay, folks, I've got this thing camera set up. See if my backup camera is still alive. It is. We lost a screw out of it. We'll see if we can find one to replace it here in a little bit. I'm going to take down a tree. I don't know what you heard when I was talking to Jeff. I'm going to take down a tree here next to the one I took down earlier. Put my suction mount back there. Seat belt on. I see my camera behind me, so I don't want to run over it. Lap bar down. Power up. All right. I'm hoping I don't get too far away from the camera and lose audio. This one will go easy. I'm not sure if that's cottonwood or what. There's a lot of cottonwoods along the river down here. Let's smooth this out a little bit. Okay, we're going to start moving this big pile. It's over here to the left of the camera. You should be able to see this. There's an old finish mower down here I got to watch out for too, so we got to be a little careful in the country, we don't want to turn loose of implements and all because stuff costs so much. And sometimes it doesn't take a lot to repair it, but sometimes getting back around to repairing stuff just never seems to come around. To get on the back side of this pile. See if we can get it in a better alignment. Here we go. All right. This would be a great job to have a grapple on, but I'm prioritized what I'm buying, that cutter first. I really need the cutter more than the grapple. Probably was a stump. Don't like running through a hole. Okay, pack that down a little. Let's see if we can. Thing we're doing is moving this around. We're starting to break it down a little bit, so it's not quite as big as it looked initially. I got to be careful. I don't want something coming through the window on me. I don't want something getting under the track, knocking it off. Take this all the way. Hang in here, baby. Stuff here. Good so far. Keep most of this in front of us. The stuff that peels off to the side like that is okay because it's just making like a windrow, and we'll be able to get it knocked down pretty easy. I'm going to stop for a second and move the camera so you'll be able to better see what I'm doing. Now that I've got this worked down a little ways, get this lined up better. We'll stop right here. Okay, we're back at it. Hopefully I didn't screw this up too much, but I think we're good now. If I can get this lined up where I won't knock it down. Close to a tree is always a good point. All right, don't fall down on me, okay? Surface here and see what I can get to roll down here. This is where a grapple would be perfect. We got a hole. Might have to fill that in. That was where two trees were pushed down to make room for doing this. rhizomes from this bamboo are terrible. If you really want to get rid of the bamboo, you can't just push it down and burn. You got to come in here with root rippers and bulldozers and get this stuff up. I mean, it spreads like wildfire. I'm going to try to cut some for Papa Kent when my cutter comes in. I told him though it's not permanent. You'll have to bush hog around the stuff. But it had taken over his barn even. He couldn't even get into his little shop there. And we cleared out a good bit with my tractor. There's a video on cleaning up some of the trees. This was before Hurricane Helene hit. And I pushed down a little bit of bamboo then. There needs to be a lot of work done on this bamboo, or cane brake as it's called. Man, I don't like that hole. All right. Take the camera up the hill, and I'm going to work on moving that down. I think Jeff was going to go up and buy diesel, but I jokingly told him I might be through before he gets back. There's actually a chance I could be. Like to get down in there and move some of that stuff around too. Whoa! Back in the hole. Alright, we're gonna take a little trip up the hill. Try to get this set up for you guys. Should be able to see a little bit. What I want to try to do is push everything down a little ways and take it from there. We'll probably move the camera again after we do that. right, I'm gonna bring you back inside with me now. Take a look at this. We've knocked a big dent in it. I've got everything moved down there, and you'll be able to watch me push it over in the hole. I'll probably come in and clean this up a little bit too. See if we can't get all that in there. Then we'll start working on this massive root. See what we can do with it. Probably push this pile down. I know, depending on where you're watching from, you're probably going to say, hey, why'd I cut this up into firewood? Everybody's got so much firewood now after Hurricane Helene. Even the people that sell firewood quit coming out and getting the big logs. They've got plenty. So that's why this is just going over in the hole. Get my seatbelt on. Always remember, safety third. Not for real. Always want to be safe, especially operating equipment like this. Back in here. That's the edge of the hill. We don't want to go there. Yeah, the benefit of having it on a tripod, you don't get to see how rough it is if it's like all smooth sailing. Got it hooked. These logs. fuselage directly in front of me, that's pecan, or pecan, or pecan, depending on where you live. And Jeff wanted me to leave those. Stick left. Approach it a different way here. There we go. Now we got it. Wake up my backup camera. Let's go dig a little bit around this stump, knock some dirt off of it. I'm going to smooth this out just a little bit too. Just make it a little less jerky coming down the hill. How tall this thing is. I mean, that's pointing up. I mean, it is huge. No telling how old this tree was. And up in western North Carolina, there were so many massive, like 100-year-old plus trees taken down. We had a lot down here, and some areas just, the devastation was unreal. But trees that had stood for over a century, gone. One storm, gone. I do want to knock as much of the dirt off as possible. That's a big hole to fill in there. A few roots getting back in the bottom of the hole is not going to hurt anything. A little bit, might break it loose some. Try going up and back down. There we go. I want to get that turn so you'll be able to see a little better what I'm doing here. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt in there. Making some headway on it too. That just helps lighten the load as well as give me something to fill the hole back in with. And it's not far over to the river. I mean, the river's not 100 yards down, but I have to go around this cane break, and there's sand that was washed up I can put in the hole as well. Takeuchi's going to want a good greasing after this. It's a lot of action. Working the joints a lot. Even though it's barely above freezing now, we can heat those joints up with all this movement. Work grease loose. Falling there. Pull that back. Good. Work it over to where it'll go in the hole. Like a brick. Red clay here in the south, man, excellent for building pine dams because it compacts really well. But it compacts really well. It makes it hard to get off the root balls. It's hard to break up too. Tooth bucket would be good on this, but that tooth bucket's so heavy doing all this work, I didn't want to put it on. Back up and pull around. We'll hit from a little bit different angle. I got to give a shout out to my brother, not my blood brother, but Eric Alexander that owns Alexander Grading. I went over this morning for Tremendous Tuesdays, a little devotional they have. Wayne Moore leads most time. They have special guests do it. But I told him what I was going to be working on today. And Eric, he started out with a skid steer, then a skid steer and a mini excavator. Was doing septics, and now he's got a multi-million-dollar business. This is over a few years, and he's been blessed in his business, and he will bless people. When I told him what I was doing, he said, hey, if your skid steer won't get that, give me a call, and I'll bring an excavator over there, and we'll dig it up. So, Eric, I love you, brother. You know how to help people and how to give back in your community. And I know people don't know how much you've done. Maybe some close to me that's been touched, no, but I appreciate you. And I appreciate your giving spirit and what you do for your business and do for the guys that work in your company. And I'll tell you right now, if I wasn't retired, I'd be working for him. If I had to, I'd work for free. He's just a good guy. All right, let's see if we can get in at a different angle here. Maybe roll this a little bit. So that's one thing when you're watching my videos, you don't always know what you're going to get, because I might be doing a review of a campground, or might be cutting fields or doing some dirt work, or might be doing a little bit of philosophy and how I feel about things in life. And I'm a true believer in helping people, putting food in the blessing boxes, things like that, to make sure that, you know, by the grace of God, it could be me that's hungry. And being retired with no income now, other than what I saved, it could still be me at some point. So as long as I'm blessed, I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing those blessings with people. We've got some kind of implement in there, and I can't see what it is. Let's see if we can clear out a little bit. Can't tell. There's a lot of breakout force to get this thing up. It's moving slowly. Wow. Should have went down a little slower than that. She's moving, see that? There we go. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on. All right. That's a blade, scrape blade. All right, let's see what we can do here. Maybe. Get a little bit of dirt to go down in here. Get back under and lift it. I'd like to get his blade out of the way. Awesome. All right. Awesome, awesome. Let's see if we can gently pick this thing up with the blade here. Don't know. Under the blade of the scrape with the bucket. where it's wet, where it was underground, and that it comes off easier. Big chunks. Turn it a little bit. This is a 6-foot bucket, and not even close. It's a good 12 plus feet. If I can knock a few 100 pounds off of this thing, that would be awesome. There's no way this will pick it up. I mentioned earlier, let me turn this a little bit, that Jeff's dad, Ken, Papa Ken as we call him, he lost his wife Lorraine to cancer about a week and a half or so before I lost Georgianne. And I think they were married 60-something years maybe, and they were really close family. It's just bad stuff. And I was down here comforting him, and I had no idea that very shortly thereafter I'd be in the same boat. Life's funny like that, you know. It's fleeting. And I tell people, man, if you love somebody, don't be afraid to tell them. Let them know that you care about them. And just try to be a good person in life. It's too short. This, I think it's interesting, this community that we live in, the motto of the community, you can see on a little sign down there in the I guess they call it a community garden, a flower garden. Is neighbors helping neighbors. This community is called Fort Shoals. A historic little village. Not much left of it now, but there's a dam just down the river. One time they had a mill there, generated power, and we had a cotton mill here in town. It was part of Regal Textile. I think Regal is now part of Mount Vernon Mills. Not much left of it. The main building, main textile mill was in the little town of Ware Shoals, about 30 miles down the road maybe, on the Cedar River. It's a little bigger river than the Reedy River down here. And at one time it was the largest mill on the roof and employed, I would say, over 1,000 people. That was the lifeblood of the little town of Ware Shoals. It finally shut down back in the 80s. And when they were doing dismantling work and all and cutting floors, fire started, burned down the old mill. Alright, let's see what we can do. Try and angle in on this thing. I have to drag some dirt in this hole so I don't get stuck or off a track. See if I can scoop some up, put in there. Six-foot bucket full of dirt that we knocked off the roof just this last time. Should help us out once I get through it. I can turn this thing now that I've got it pushed around like that. See if we can go around the back side here.
uncensored content.
Watch where you're going. That's why we got a backup camera. I should be looking at. This big pile down there too. Jeff, you want this big pile down?
You want to try it?
Yeah. Look, if I can get that big beast moved, I can get that down there.
Oh, did you get that thing up? Oh,
that's what I was pushing. That's what I was pushing. Yeah, I took a lot of dirt off of it to be able to get it out there and be able to move it. I just had to flip it.
It had to be harder than that other one.
Oh, yeah, it was massive. Yeah, it was massive.
Shit, yeah, I didn't even go around there and look at that yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of roots down there. Probably still need to move out, but
fine.
It's
we can handle that.
All right, well, I'm gonna see what I can do with this pile here.
If you want to push it, that's fine.
Yeah, after I do that, I'll back drag and smooth everything out. What about these logs over here?
They're just flat walnut, but we're not gonna do anything with them.
If you want me to take them down there, and I probably got a couple of them when I was pushing the other stuff.
Yeah, we're just gonna. They're just. I don't know nothing we ever gonna do with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we'll get rid of them, but I mean if you don't, I can do that. That's light, you know.
While I'm here.
If you want to do it.
Yeah, I can do it. All right.
I appreciate it. There's a lot of rock and crap here.
You want me to get that rock up, smooth that out, and dump it in there?
This used to be like a burn pile. There's a lot of this shit.
Well, I can scoop it all up and throw it down there with that other stuff.
I don't know how you clean it out. I mean,
easy.
However you want to try it. Yeah.
Man, I can have this slicked up like nothing.
Well, we get it where he can mow it. He can just mow it.
Oh, he'll be able to.
Good. All right.
Yeah. Heck yeah. All right. Let me move this pile.
Want some fuel? I brought 6 gallons down here.
I'm good right now.
Okay.
I probably hadn't burned. I probably burned close to 6.
Well, I mean.
But.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still good. I've got
good. Then we'll get it when you're done.
I got a half tank right now. All right. Let me move this pile. All right. We're gonna get this out of here. See what we can do with it. Now this would be perfect for a grapple. Hey Jeff, if a guy had a grapple, he could move this real easy.
Yeah, I don't know that guy yet.
Well, you're gonna know him soon. I can't keep functioning without a grapple. Yeah.
I like that one.
That's my next implement.
Hey, Tommy Landon bought one, so I can buy one.
Exactly.
Yeah.